Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make a cacciatore sauce for country pork spare ribs. You will absolutely love these fresh ingredients that I'm going to show you how to create this wonderful dish. The ingredients that you need are olive oil, a tablespoon of thyme, a tablespoon of oregano, a half a teaspoon of sea salt, and a half a teaspoon of ground pepper, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 3/4 cup of white wine, 3 large sliced Vidalia onions, 6 fresh tomatoes that have been diced, 8 sweet peppers that have been sliced lengthwise, and then I have 4 pounds of fresh country pork spare ribs. So let's get cooking. First step in making your country pork spare ribs is pouring approximately 2 tablespoons of oil in the bottom of a skillet, and we're going to turn the skillet to medium high, and I'm just going to make sure that the oil is along the bottom of the skillet, and we will be browning our spare ribs on either side. And I'm just going to show you what the process looks like for browning the spare ribs, and this will take a few minutes because I have around 10 spare ribs that I want to brown. So this is the first step in making our pork country style cacciatore. So I'll come back in just a second. I wanted to show you what our pork spare ribs look like. I have browned 2 pans of the spare ribs, and I'm going to take them out of the pan, and I'm placing them on a plate, and I'm going to keep my oil. I'm going to keep my oil because I'm going to be sauteing my vegetables in the same oil. Next step in making your cacciatore is I have got my skillet. The next step in making the cacciatore sauce is I have a skillet that's been preheated that we browned our ribs in. Now you're going to see me take my onions that have been sliced, and I'm just going to separate the slices so that you see rings falling into my skillet. And then we are going to be adding our peppers to the skillet. And once I start coating the vegetables, we will be adding our garlic to the skillet. So our onions are in, and I'm just going to toss the onions to get them coated. There we go. And next you'll see me put my peppers in. And I'm just going to be cooking these for approximately 5 minutes. And we will be adding our ingredients to make the sauce here in a few minutes. So that is our next step to making our sauce for our country spare ribs. And you will see me add my garlic. There we go. And I'm just going to stir the garlic in. And I'll come back and let you see my next step in a second. All right, our onions and our peppers are sauteed. So our next step in our chicken cacciatore is I've got my fresh tomatoes, my dry ingredients, and I have my wine. So what we are going to do is you're going to pour your wine into your skillet, and we are going to let the wine simmer for about 5 minutes to reduce it in volume. My wine has been simmering and the liquid has been reduced. So now you will see me place my fresh tomatoes into the pan, and I'm going to stir the tomatoes and the peppers together. And next I will be adding my dry ingredients. I've added the tomatoes to our pan, and again I'm just stirring the tomatoes into the peppers and the onions. And this is a beautiful dish that your family will enjoy eating. And next you'll see me add my dry ingredients, which are the dry ingredients. You saw me add the dry ingredients, which included oregano, thyme. You saw me add the dry ingredients to the dish. You saw me add the dry ingredients to the skillet. And now we are getting ready to stir the ingredients into our tomatoes, onions, and peppers. And I'm going to cover this once it's stirred, and I will be letting it simmer for 5 minutes. And then you will see me place the vegetable mixture into the bottom of a foil-lined broiler pan, because you need to have a pan that's going to be large enough to accommodate your vegetables and your ribs. And then I will be covering my pan and placing it in the oven at 350 degrees for 40 minutes, or until our ribs are completely cooked and the juices are running clear. Right, our vegetables are ready to be placed into the bottom of my foil-lined pan. And again, I'm going to be using a broiler pan so that I will be able to accommodate the vegetables and the meat. So next, we are getting ready to transfer the vegetables into the bottom of the foil-lined pan. All right, I'm getting ready to show you the next step in making country spare ribs with a twist, cacciatore sauce. So now you will see me transfer my vegetables into the bottom of a foil-lined broiler pan. And I'm just pouring the vegetables onto the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we have a thin layer of vegetables on the bottom. And next, you will see me take my spare ribs, and I'm placing the spare ribs on top of the vegetables. And last, we will be covering the spare ribs with tin foil and placing them into the oven that has been preheated at 350 degrees. And we will be cooking them for approximately 40 minutes, or or until the juices have run clear. And the broiler pan does accommodate all of the ribs nicely. So there you have it. We have our spare ribs on top. And next, you will see me cover the ribs with tin foil. And now we're placing it in the oven. And you will get to see what our wonderful meal looks like in a few minutes. Well, our country pork spare ribs with cacciatore sauce is ready to be served. I made egg noodles for the cacciatore sauce, and you will see me serve the spare ribs with cacciatore sauce over egg noodles. So I'm putting a spare rib on the plate, and next you will see me put the peppers and onions and tomatoes over top of my egg noodles. And there you have it. A nice meal that you can cook your family. Again, I wanted to let you know that when you are cooking this dish, make sure that you cook it at least 40 minutes or until the juices are running clear for your pork. And I left the pork in the oven for an additional 10 minutes to total 50 minutes. So I hope you enjoy. Until next time.